Hello, my name is Redona, and this is my story. I'm from Albania, and I grew up in a mixed religious background as a family. My dad comes from a Muslim background, although he has never practiced a religion, and neither have us. And my mom comes from an Orthodox background. Therefore, growing up, I always had the idea of God and Jesus, and I had heard the stories from my grandma. And we actually even went to church on, Christmas and Easter time. But I believe that was it. I didn't really have an understanding of who God is and who Jesus is and the whole relationship with Him. And then when I was 5, together with my 2 older sisters, we joined a children ministry group. They were happening very close to our neighborhood, therefore my parents were okay with us attending. When I was a teen, I was introduced to the idea of going to the youth group from my middle sister. She had continued going back to church and being in contact with everybody there and really believing. Therefore, when she made me the invitation to attend, and at first I didn't really want to. I was quite of a, let's say, rebellious teenager for a small town girl. So I did join. I didn't really like it at first because I felt like, I'm too cool to go to a youth group. But then eventually I realized that people there are very nice, they're very loving, and inside of me I really wanted to change. I really wanted not to hang out with my not so good friends anymore. I really wanted to change my behavior and my attitude, but I just really couldn't, and I knew that I can't do it on my own, and somehow I do need help. And if God really was real and He is alive, just like it was being said in my youth group, then I really decided, okay, I'm going to pursue this God and see how my life changes. Further on, I moved to university. I became part of a student group, Christian student group, which is called IFES, or here in Latvia it would be LKSB, so Latvijas Kristīgā Studentu Brālība. I was a student leader for 3 years, and during my last year of university, there was a request from the group here that they needed a volunteer to help out with international student ministry. And one of my staff workers back home, he told me about the opportunity, and he said that if I wanted to, I could apply. I decided to apply, and I got accepted, and that's how I moved here. I have been part of the same ministry for 2.5 years now, and I can't really seem to let go of it. I really love it, and that's how I also got to be part of Communitas. I remember that I came one Sunday. It was August, and the first people that I greeted were actually Aaron and Marty, and I just thought those two are the coolest people I have ever met. Like they have never met me before, and they were just so friendly and so welcomed, and that really made me feel so good and so at home. My first month, or let's say 2 months here, weren't really so smooth. I had a lot of homesickness and also cultural differences that I had to adapt to living in Latvia. Therefore, being part of Communitas has really helped me. I really agree with the idea that Communitas has, that we are here to be in the world, and we're different from the world, so we're supposed to live as we're different from the world, but we are here for the world, and in order to preach the gospel and show God's goodness and who He is to other people outside of the church bubble, let's say. And I had been struggling with that before in my previous churches. Therefore, it was very good to come to a place where we really put emphasis on how important it is to carry out the command that Jesus gave in order to reach out to people and spread the gospel, let's say. And I love the fact that we're an international community, and Mark usually says that we're the nations, and it is amazing how I have been in touch with so many students from different countries for the past 2 years, And it is true, you know, the gospel is being shared in the whole world, let's say, or in different nations, and even in nations that maybe Christianity isn't exposed or isn't really accepted. So yeah, that is why I love Communitas. That is why I love being part of it, and I love the student ministry, and I love seeing what God is doing in my life and in other people's lives, and to those around me.